Jobby, there's a huge typo on that banner. It says September 20th, but we're seeing it tonight.
It's badass Trump, my favorite character.
So I was scrolling the hit website Twitter one day, and I saw a post from @TFHypeGuy who was like, hey, there's an LA screening of Transformers 1 through Collider. They're offering tickets. And I was like, I'm literally going to be in LA that day because I'm filming for my big Gravity Falls documentary about the Cypher Hunt. That's a whole video. It's going to go on the larger channel. So I was like, let me try to apply for that. So I did. I sent an email and I was like, hi, I know what Transformers are, Mr. Collider. Can I come on? Can I come? Put in all these photos of like me with Peter Cullen, me with a Transformer wall. Look at all the microplastics in my lungs. Just trying to like up my chances, be the ideal fanboy they're trying to get into this screening. Because they want all the people who are gonna gas up the movie and praise it. They don't want anyone who's not gonna like it. Looking back at it, this really is like the cringiest fanboy email, but I was trying to present myself that way. You know, it's like Socrates once said, sometimes you just have to be cringe to be based. I made it clear, like, I'm not local to LA. I was transparent about that. I wasn't trying to cheat. But they got back, like, a couple days later. They were like, all right, you're in. You can bring 1 + 1. So I was like, oh, let me call Mr. the Hong. I heard that Transit's gonna show up 15 minutes in, become the surprise protagonist of the movie.
Well, I heard that David Kay himself is going to show up green screened onto the film, and he's finally going to say it. He's finally going to say the thing.
Oh yeah? Well, I heard that Big Daddy's gonna show up and single-handedly defeat Trypticon.
Well, I heard that Freddy Fazbear is going to show up in the climax of the film and save the entirety of Cybertron.
Oh yeah? Yeah? Well, I heard that at the 40-minute mark, the entire film will stop dead in its tracks to have a 29-minute graphic gay sex scene between D16 and Orion Pax. This is where we'd be allowed to enter if we were cool, but this is where we're actually entering. Because we're lame. So they had instructed us to meet at the Gower entrance, and once we were there, they swiftly loaded us onto a shuttle and drove us around the building to what I can now tell was the Paramount Theater. And then from there, we walked into a movie theater. They're gonna give us Peter Cullen.
Just Peter Cullen.
That's their gift.
Everyone gets a Peter Cullen.
Everyone gets a Peter Cullen.
You get a Peter Cullen. I get a Peter Cullen.
They had the most like insane candy spread ever. And I was literally talking to Jobby at dinner. I was like, an LA screening is the exact type of place where they would have the actors from the movie come out. And we were like, maybe they'll have the actors which aren't a part of the Avengers. But no, they rolled out Brian Tyree Henry, then Keegan-Michael Key, and then Chris Hemsworth himself. I got to stare at him from 90 feet away. Scarlett Johansson wasn't there, and I think the reason she hasn't been involved in any of the press is because she's been filming a new Jurassic Park movie.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Scarlett.
Hi, Scarlett.
What are you guys doing?
Just playing with our Transformers.
I love Transformers.
But there's all these press videos of Brian Tyree Henry and Chris Hemsworth, like, at the Paramount lot, and they filmed those while we were all watching the movie. Final prediction, will the enemy scrotum show up?
Absolutely.
I hope so too.
Yeah, John Turturro himself will show up.
I heard that Michael Bay is going to be green screened in. He's just going to yell at the audience.
He's gonna come out with 2 wrecking balls. He's gonna start swinging them.
Megatron is such a dumb bitch. He's right behind me, isn't he? So we watched the movie, we had a wonderful time.
What's going on?
What'd you think, Jobby?
Oh my god. That was amazing, dude.
I agree. What I will say is that part of what made the experience so fun is that we had seen like nothing of the movie. All that existed was the one teaser trailer. And so it was a completely fresh experience. Right now, it's almost approaching like Mario movie marketing territory, where there aren't that many surprises left. Every major set piece has been accounted for in the trailers. So if you want a fresh experience watching Transformers 1, try to avoid that the best you can. I really think you should. Then we get to redeem our free gift. And I saw like a table full of toys, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a cool Optimus. No, they only had the lame ones. Bumblebee's shelf warming again. It's just been on my... What the fuck? It's just been on my floor for 2 months now. Here's my review of Sentinel Prime. You go, and he's a robot now. Just has a jet on his back. I think you can put his feet on this thing. I don't know why. Wow. Comes with a sword. So I think easily this is in like the top 10 Transformers toys I've ever owned in my life. So the movie rolls. As of today, the review embargo has dropped at the time of uploading this video. So yeah, thank you to John Paramount for letting us in. So me and Jobby are gonna give a spoiler review right now at the 5-minute mark. Let's film a post-show reflection down these stairs.
All right, so what? Post analysis.
The whole table fell. All right, you start. What are your thoughts on this exciting film?
Oh, holy moly! Holy moly! Transformers 1, more like Transformers 10 out of 10. Jesus.
We said this in the theater. Easily the best Transformers movie.
Most likely, yeah. It's still kind of fresh in my mind, but I think the more I think about it, I think I'm gonna end up ranking this above every other Transformers movie.
I mean, it had characters with motivations. That puts it up above the last 7.
Dude, like even beyond that, it was like not only were there characters with motivations, it was good characters with good motivations, a great story, just taking like the best pieces of Transformers lore and just really distilling it. Oh my goodness gracious.
I would say it really excelled with like the action scenes.
Absolutely. Oh, the action was fantastic.
I think they were just like incredibly well executed. There was like this massive transforming Cybertron, like every part of the planet moved. It's like what they wanted to do during Cyberverse, but they didn't have the budget for. I feel like the heel turn for D16 was a little abrupt.
Maybe it was a little abrupt, but I mean, I think it's kind of like he was like being possessed by his own anger, if that makes sense. And, kind of showing that with his eyes slowly turning red. It feels like it wasn't like completely natural. Maybe we'll get more context in the next film, which I hope there's gonna be one,
Transformers 2.
Transformers 2.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah,
well executed scenes. It was just like a great experience.
Now listen, D16's turn. D16's turn may have been maybe a little bit abrupt, but when he did turn, those scenes
my God.
like the rise of Megatron in this film is like, this is everything I wanted as a kid. Like it made me remember that I'm like a Megatron simp. I would die for that guy.
One more thing, I thought D16 B127.
B127.
I didn't think he was that funny. I didn't think he hit very well.
They didn't get rid of the Badassatron line. And not only that, they doubled down. They tripled down. They quadrupled down. I think it was 4 times.
Yeah.
I was like mentally taking a drink every time they did the joke. And it's like, it's not funny.
It's
like the worst part of the movie.
I know. It's like every time Bumblebee. They didn't even call him Bumblebee because they're totally making this like potentially in canon with the movies. I know for a fact that's what they're going for. That's Lorenzo.
And it's definitely not, though. They're not going to even... Like, they can't.
They'll try. They'll
try,
claim.
but it'll be messy.
I feel like almost every single Cybertronian in this movie was a named, established character.
Yeah, like all the
like hundreds of like actual real, like with Cyberverse, it's just like they reuse bodies all the time. But this had the budget to literally model hundreds of distinct looking characters.
For Transformers fans, you're gonna recognize a lot of characters in the background, which is awesome.
Yeah,
like it's not just generic drones in the background. It's like that's Ratchet, that's Ironhide, that's Jazz, that's Sideswipe was even in there. Like, okay, cool, man. Oh, dude, this is such a treat for Transformers fans.
He's coming for us. I see it. Sorry.
I'm gonna get you now.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Sorry, Chris Hemsworth had to talk to us for a second. We're back.
That's right. Except there's no seats to be taken. So.
I really enjoyed that. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have like more articulate, concise
absolutely.
thoughts.
I'm gonna do a video on this.
More.
I'm gonna have to do a video on this, man.
But anyway, Transformers 1. No one will see this video for months, but we recommend it.
What is it? 2 months?
I think it's like 2 months. I don't know when the embargo's dropping specifically.
Oh my God. Yeah, because the movie comes out
September 20th. So we're seeing this like 2 months early.
Well, I mean, I'll say this on camera, so there's footage of it. I really just thank you so much for inviting me to this, man.
Yeah, no problem.
This is like I would have never known about this screening if it wasn't for you.
I would have never known if not for @TFHypeGuy on Twitter, who happened to retweet Collider's article, and I was like, say, I exist. I would like to see this film. Let me ask. And then I did.
Dude. Holy.
Thank you,
moly.
Mr. Paramount, for letting us into this film.
Mr. Paramount, I love you.
Kiss
Until
me,
I don't
Mr.
anymore.
Paramount. Oh, that's true. Until the next live action
Until
one
the
comes
next
out.
live-
Until we hit
Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Paramount.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mr. Paramount.
Fuck you, Mr.
Optimus Prime
I-
threatened to flip someone off in this movie.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Badass-atron.
That is badass-atron. He's
A lot of
badass.
really funny lines. There's a moment where like Optimus in an action scene transforms around like a Viacon seeker and like kills them. It was amazing.
Dude.
I've imagined that
Yeah.
happening since I was a child. I've animated that before with Bumblebee and Barricade. I was just like animating something I imagined as a child in a non-canon context, and it happened in a film. But just proving third grade Keyan was ahead of the curve, creativity-wise. It took 10 years.
I think it also proves that the people behind this movie have that sort of childlike passion for the franchise.
Yes.
It really does feel like these are Transformers fans making this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get that feeling from
No.
as much as I enjoyed, the first Michael Bay movie, second one could go to hell, third movie is good. As much as I enjoyed that, it still felt like it didn't have that spark, right? This movie has the fucking spark.
It has the touch.
It has the
They
power.
made that joke.
They did make that joke.
They said you don't have the touch or the power.
Yeah.
And all the Transformers fans clapped.
I did. I
The
did.
masses yearn for inside jokes.
Absolutely. And I think they said more than meets the eye twice.
Yeah, they
So
do.
that's another drinking game.
One was in the trailer.
Almost.
Steve Buscemi was Starscream.
Dude,
They gave a lore explanation
for how
his
he sounds
voice.
like that. That's so good.
It's like when Han Solo gets his name because he's
Oh
alone.
yeah. They didn't have to do that, but I mean, it was funny.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
What is up, guys? Today we're going to be attempting the 24 hours on Paramount challenge. We're gonna stay hidden in this trash can. You know what they say about stage 29? It was eaten by stage 27. And 8. Wait. In 26. Stage 26 is afraid because 27, 28, 29. For the record. They put that up as a reference to Sentinel Prime. I like how in Dark of the Moon, Optimus executes Sentinel and Megatron in cold blood, but in this movie he's like, no, Megatron, we cannot execute Sentinel. It's like the exact polar opposite.
It's the exact. It's character development.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he evolves from not wanting to execute Sentinel to wanting to execute Sentinel.
This is pre-war criminal.
Actually, you know what? I feel like they're literally going to try to claim it's in the same continuity despite Sentinel Prime dying.
Oh yeah, that I didn't even think about that. They can't do it yet. They're gonna try.
They're going to try. Brutal death too. He got ripped in
yeah.
half. That was
It's
awesome.
like Megatron's specialty at this
An
point.
excellent film. I like how Megatron's fusion cannon could just transform in and out of his arm.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's never
great
happened
feature.
before. That's really innovative. I like that.
Yeah.
That's just a good idea. Optimus's orange blade was so powerful. It had the powers of the Star Saber basically. And he just has it.
It's awesome.
I know. Good movie. A lot of fan service, but none of it's distracting.
Yeah.
It's if you're a Transformers fan, you'll be like, that robot's Wheeljack. It had a really good sense of which robots to linger on for a second longer than the rest. A good shot of RC, a good shot of Wheeljack, and keep Brawn and Windcharger in the background.
There you go. Just a little treat.
Yeah.
For the Transformers fans there.
But a good finger on the pulse of which characters are popular from the creative team.
Well, I'm sure that they're obviously working really closely with the toy department and.
Oh, that could
maybe
be a
checking
factor
sales
too.
numbers,
That could
too.
be a factor as well. Never mind. The one time I was not cynical in how I thought.
Yeah.
Bye, Jobby. Oh my God, Jobby, watch out!